our fears have made us rigid and inaccessible. We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love. For each time we have struck out in anger without just cause. We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love. For each time that our greed has blinded us to the needs of others. We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again. For the selfishness that sets us apart and alone. We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love. For falling short of the admonitions of the Spirit. We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love. For losing sight of our unity. We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love. For those and for so many acts, both evident and subtle, which have fueled the illusion of separateness. We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love. For
This congregation is a community of ourselves. Its energy and resources are our energy and resources. Its wealth is what we share. As we contribute to its life, we affirm our lives within it.
From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live.
So today is going to be a fun service. We, for the last few years, and we, on the first service of January every year, we have a time capsule. And last year the kids created a little time capsule for us. And over the year, it kind of, parts of its decorations got taken off. But what we do is we, together as a community, we make some predictions and wishes for the new year. And then we open the time capsule at the beginning of each new year and see where we were correct and where we were not correct. And so that's what we're going to do together as a community today. So if you, in a few minutes, I am going to invite everybody to set some predictions for this coming year. So if you need a pen or paper to write something down to remember it, or else we'll just do it as a conversation. But I wanted to start with some things that probably none of us, actually I did go through the time capsule. I will start with some of the things that nobody predicted, and then we will go into what we did actually predict. First of all, obviously, nobody predicted that 2020 would be a pandemic. I think nobody predicted that there would be a run on toilet paper. I think nobody predicted that we would be doing the bulk of our service via Zoom. And here are just some fun things that I would never have predicted for 2020, and this just comes from Google, so I don't know the accuracy of all of this, but it's kind of fun. So a lot has happened in the first half of 2020. This was written from the first half. Australia, we don't want to forget about Australia's devastating bushfires. And then in the last few months alone, American rapper Kanye announced his presidential bid and then promptly dropped out of the race. Prince Harry and Meghan declared that they were stepping down as senior royals and moved to North America. The Olympics were postponed, and Elon Musk, I did not know this, named his baby boy XAEA-12 exclamation point. I don't even know how you refer to him. And then here's some other things that I wonder if you all knew about. A star went missing. For nearly 2 decades, astronomers studied a star in a galaxy 75 million light years away, reports The Atlantic. Recently, they looked at latest observations and realized they could not find it anymore. The discovery was announced last month. I don't know when last month was, and it could be the first instance of a star collapsing into a black hole without first exploding into a supernova. Apparently, and I did not know this either, there were mystery drones over Colorado and Nebraska. In January, people in the United States of Colorado and Nebraska began to report mysterious drones in the sky. According to the New York Post, rumors flew thick and fast about drones as big as car flying grid patterns in the night sky. We also had 2020 brought us murder hornets, and it was an Asian giant hornet that can sting you multiple times and deliver larger doses of venom just because of the size of them, said Sven Eric Spicker, managing entomologist at the Washington State Agricultural Department, about the murder hornets. What we're told from the literature is that most people can survive 1 or 2 stings, he said. So that was good. Did we all know that a monkey stole COVID samples? In a bizarre incident in one of Uttar Pradesh's largest government hospitals, a monkey attacked a lab technician, snatched vials containing blood samples from 3 coronavirus patients, and escaped. A video of the incident, which occurred in May, shows the monkey sitting atop a tree with samples it stole. The Pentagon released 3 UFO videos. And I mentioned this last week, it never even made anybody's consciousness. The United States Department of Defense released 3 short videos showing unidentified aerial phenomena. In a statement dated April 27th, the Department of Defense said that the videos were taken by Navy pilots in 2004 and 2005 and had been circulating on the internet since they were leaked in 2007 and 17. There was a reverse waterfall in Australia. There have been plenty of weird weather-based phenomena this year, like that heat wave that just didn't want to end, and the fire tornado in California. Oh, I forgot about the fire tornado. But there was a waterfall that went backwards in Australia as wind gusts reached 70 kilometers per hour, and several waterfalls in the Royal National Park near Sydney actually started to be blown backwards, creating literally a reverse waterfall. And now this is my favorite one. A pair of gay penguins stole an egg from a pair of lesbian penguins. If you had the drama in the Dutch LGBTQ penguin community on your 2020 bingo card, then congratulations, your luck has come in. So over at Amersfoort Deer Park Zoo, a pair of gay penguins stole an entire batch of eggs to hatch as their own from a lesbian couple. The gay penguins named Tux and Flipper have a reputation for causing trouble, having previously stolen a single egg in 2019, which failed to hatch. They clearly didn't want to be foiled again, and this time stole an entire batch of eggs and also took over 2 enclosures. Although the pair seemed determined to get their own little penguins, it is unlikely to happen. Zookeeper Sandy Drost explained that because the eggs were produced by a lesbian couple, they wouldn't have been fertilized and are unlikely to bring any baby penguins into the world. But who would have thought that that would have been the highlight of 2020, a pair of gay penguins stealing an egg from a pair of lesbian penguins? And so now I'm gonna unmute us and we're gonna start with, is there anything that I forgot on my list that nobody would have predicted? And then we're gonna get into our own time capsule. So if you want to unmute yourself and remind us of something crazy that only happened in 2020. All right, Kathleen.
So some of you know that I live in Houston, Texas now. And this year's hurricane season in the Gulf and the Atlantic was, I think, the worst on record, the most amount of storms, and storms lasting much later past when they are usually finished. So luckily right here, we didn't get a whole lot, but Louisiana was just pummeled by storms and other places experiencing some major devastation.
Joni.
I don't think I heard you mention this, but Julie Bradley and family experienced the derecho in Iowa firsthand. So derecho, I'd never heard of that type of storm, but it's basically an inland like hurricane. So hurricane force winds. We have been regularly Zooming with them, and they would Zoom from their backyard, which was filled with trees, almost forested. And now when we Zoom, there's a big blank area. They lost their entire little forest of trees. So it was really something.
Say hi to the Bradleys for me. I remember when they were out here, and I actually went to school with him.
All right, so as we think of other crazy things, I'm gonna start a little bit with what our kids predicted for last year. So, and they didn't all say their name, but one of our children predicted that my dog will live for another 10 years. I predict, this same child, I predict that I will see another UFO again. So one of our kiddos saw a UFO apparently, and I predict that I will get a dog in 2020. So I'm not sure who this kiddo is, but they're gonna have a dog still alive, a new dog, and alien visitation. That's kind of fun. Now this little one, Margot, predicted, she wrote in red on red, so it's hard to see, but she predicted that the wind will blow and the rain will come. And Margot was right. We had wind and we had rain. Ben predicted that his lizard will live 8 more years. So when we see Ben next time, let's ask of his lizard, how his lizard is doing. Somebody on behalf of Fiona predicted that Fiona will keep being silly and making us smile. And she is definitely doing that. And then I predict that the K-1 OWL class will be a huge success. And there we go. We were halfway through the K-OWL class when everything shut down. So I'm thinking it was I don't know what the word for half of huge success is, but it was a it was a huge success until it just ended spontaneously. So Chelsea, you want to say anything about that?
Just that I'm laughing a lot. I'd forgotten that that was predicted, and it is very humorous to me.
No. So those were our children, and now the next group of predictions was about what we were going to do as a UUCGV community. So one of the predictions was we will have a new UU board, which happened because we do that every year. Our members and friends will number over 175. I don't think that we've quite made that yet, at least not here on Zoom. The social justice team will be reformed, and we were in the process of that. And then the Women's March in Grand Junction will see historic increase in turnout. So I think we had the Women's March before everything shut down. So we were on a good trajectory for that. Let's see, in 2020, UUCGV will grow with 10 new families. I think we were close to hitting that. And I know that we've had at least 10 visitors, that have started coming to Zoom, these Zoom meetings. So I think we did okay with that. I predict that UU and this group will mostly be here 1 year later. So we're all still here. It's not the same way that we necessarily thought, but we made it. We're all still here, and with beautiful little squares to like smile and talk with each other. The RE program will continue to grow and thrive, and it has under Chelsea's leadership, even though it's had to be reimagined as with everything else, but we love Chelsea. Let's see. And then this is from Lance Oswald. Lance, I hope my prediction is right because I predict that I will be here in church 1 year from today. Well, Lance, I think you're here in a church square and you're still here with us. So that prediction, we give it a thumbs up for that prediction. Our congregation will have grown in numbers of members, and I think that we hit that. And then I predict that Amanda will continue leading the choir with grace. And she certainly is doing that in a reimagined way, the way that the rest of us are all reimagining 2021. So that was, those were the predictions for our congregation. And then a lot of these next ones, we have a number of people that made predictions about the election. And for the most part, the predictions were Donald Trump will not be our president. So we got that one right. One person did predict that Donald Trump would be the president. One person predicted that we would have a woman as a president. And we're close. We have the first woman as vice president. And then we had one person predict that we would have President Bernie Sanders. So for the most part, our electoral predictions were fairly correct with a few nuances. And so then this last group was just kind of predictions in general. Somebody said more people will know global warming is true science. Grand Junction will have a plan to replace Grand Junction High School, and I don't know if we succeeded with that one. Gun control legislation will have become more widespread. I'm not sure if we succeeded with that. Let's see. In 2020, Grand Junction will continue with the inclusivity proclamation, and the city council did do that. This will be a year of further revelations, which it definitely was. We had a whole lot revealed to us that we never predicted coming. And somebody predicted that our youth will become more and more active as vocal leaders to address climate change through technical innovation and inspiring behavior change among more and more humans. And as a mother, I know that maybe not everybody would agree with me, but I have certainly seen what TikTok has done with some of my teenagers and some of the behind the scenes little things that they have been creating have been kind of creative and somewhat humorous. So I think that I am optimistic about our youth. I predict, and we're going to end with this one, I predict that love will still be the most powerful force in the universe. And I agree with that. So I didn't read all of them because I want to give us time to make some of our new predictions for the year. So at this point, and Chelsea has been nice enough to volunteer to type some of this up for us so that we will have everything in the time capsule for next year. I'm gonna, now it's your time to, let's make some predictions for 2021 and or some blessings that we want to offer each other. All right, Cheryl and Bill, what did you want to predict?
I predict that with some hiccups, we will get a widespread COVID inoculation going on in our country and in the world, and we will reach some form of normalcy, not right away, but in the meantime, I predict that people will let their guards down a little bit, thinking, oh, it's coming right away. The virus will be gone soon. So I worry that people will, I predict that people will let their guard down a little bit, but we'll all be in a better place in 6 months.
All right, Kayla or Janber, did you want to say something?
Yes. Well, I predict that making apologies again will matter. And the one that will matter will come from Trump. That's my prediction.
All right. Sue.
Something positive.
I just
Sue,
wanted
what do
to
you want to predict?
I just wanted to say that there is a form, and I believe it's on the Mesa County Health Department website, where you can sign up that you would like to be notified when you can start getting the vaccine. And people might want to do that. I did send a copy of it to Maya so that she could distribute it too with the church members. And I believe now that it's for those of us who are 70 and older who would be in this second wave, I guess you could call it 1B or something.
Thanks, Sue.
Mhm.
Andrea, do you have a prediction for us?
Yes, I predict that we'll all be together, holding hands, singing each other out of our church service this time next year.
And we'll still be online for those of you who can't join us in person. We're going to continue that, is my prediction. All right, Peg or Lance, did one of you want to make a prediction, or both of you?
Yes, I have a prediction. I predict that later in the year, maybe after 6 or 7, 8 months, people will be able to get together with family again and travel safely. And I am looking forward to being in New York State in maybe August.
That is something definitely to look forward to. All right, I don't see anybody else unmuting themselves. Does nobody else have a prediction?
I'd like to make another prediction.
Okay, Kayla, go ahead.
I predict that my husband and I will go to Turkey next summer to visit with our new in-laws who live in Turkey. COVID vaccinations will be the key there. Yes.
Okay, well, we will hope that you get to do those safe journeys. Sherry, did you have a prediction?
My prediction is that it's still really dangerous to try and predict a darn thing because things are really cray-cray. But we can expect some more cray-cray. That's I think what I'm going to predict, but we'll get through it.
Well, I am predicting that 2021 will collectively be better than 2020. Miranda, do you have a prediction for us?
I'll buy a new house.
Oh, that's exciting that the Richardsons will be in a new house this time next year. I think that is an excellent prediction. All right. Well, we will continue to allow people to add to the time capsule for the next few weeks. So if you come up with a prediction that didn't make it into today's service, let Chelsea or I know, and we will add it to our time capsule. And now I put together, all I did was put it together, but Maya took some amazingly beautiful photographs this year. And Paul has some amazingly beautiful music. And so I took some of Maya's photographs and Paul's music, and I put it together into a very beautiful PowerPoint that then didn't show up on my computer. So my hope is that Chelsea was able to download it and it will work for us to end this first time capsule service of 2021 with. So enjoy. This is called It's a New Day.
She wants to go.
I put the pieces down, stopped and looked around. I found a place for me where I could lay my head comfortably. I rested there for time till I found peace of mind. I dreamed of what could be. I heard the call of life deep in me, and I rose up off that bed, stood on my feet and said, I'm headed for the light. I felt that warm sun burning bright, and it's a new day, and it's a new way, and it's a fine sight, that warm sun burning so bright. But I climbed a little hill, sat in the quiet till a meadowlark sang a tune, and the sun warmed me through and through, and I'm finally free of the doubt. My one chance to change is now. I'm letting love take control to guide me on my way home. And it's a new day, and it's a new It's a fine sight, that warm sun burning so bright, and my love knows where my heart should go, and it feels just right. That warm sun burning so bright. Yeah, it's a new day. It's a new way. It's a fine sight. That warm sun burning so bright. I feel that warm sun burning so bright.
So we extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Go your way in peace, wander as you may. Blessed is the path you take. May love guide you on your way.
Have a